Hey fight fans, welcome to MMA Daily, your go-to source for the latest news, fight analyses, and exclusive interviews in mixed martial arts. Hit subscribe and join us as we step into the cage together. Starting off, Shavkat Rakhmonov calls for interim title fight at UFC 310 after Belal Muhammad pulls out. Gary shows interest. Moving on, Belal Muhammad snaps at Junkie Conor McGregor for mocking UFC 310 withdrawal. Lastly, Chandler reveals he's willing to die ahead of UFC 309 return. Shavkat Rakhmonov still wants to fight on December 7th at UFC 310. Rakhmonov was supposed to headline the pay-per-view card against Belal Muhammad for the welterweight title. On Thursday, it was revealed that Muhammad was forced to withdraw from the bout. Following the news that Muhammad was out of the fight, Rakhmonov took to social media to say he wants to fight for an interim title on that card. Wishing Belal a quick recovery. We'll meet when you're back at 100%. For now, I'm ready to take on any contender for the interim title at UFC 310. An interim title fight does make, especially if Belal Muhammad is out long-term. However, who Shavkat Rakhmonov would fight is uncertain. But after the news of Muhammad's injury, Gary took to social media to show interest in the fight by simply sharing a clip of him calling out Rakhmonov in the past. There's some big names, there's some cool matchups. Shavkat, 18-0 undefeated, I'd love to get my hands on him. I've trained with him, I have nothing but respect for the guy, but I want to be the first guy to take his 0, and I know I can do it. That fight excites me so much, I have nothing but respect for the dude. It's purely out of I don't want anyone else to beat him before me. He's 18-0, I'm 15-0, let's go out there and put on show and see who's really better. A fight between Shavkat Rakhmonov and Machado Garry for the interim title does make a lot of sense. Both are undefeated and worthy of a title fight, but whether or not it happens is uncertain. UFC welterweight champion Belal Muhammad slammed superstar Conor McGregor for laughing at his demise following his UFC 310 withdrawal due to injury. Muhammad was supposed to make his first welterweight title defense against the undefeated Shavkat Rakhmonov at UFC 310 in December, but he was forced to withdraw from the fight this week after suffering a bone infection in his foot. After Muhammad announced his ailment, McGregor took to X to laugh at Muhammad's expense. Coincidentally, McGregor had to withdraw from UFC 303 earlier this year due to a broken toe. It didn't take long for Muhammad to respond. In a recent tweet, Muhammad went scorched earth on McGregor. I have this for antibiotics. You use needles because you are junkie. We are not the same. Muhammad earned the UFC welterweight title by defeating Leon Edwards at UFC 304. He's unbeaten over his last 11 fights, including recent wins over former title challengers Gilbert Burns and Stephen Thompson. McGregor hasn't fought since snapping his leg against Dustin at UFC 264. He's targeting a return to the octagon in 2025 as he looks to snap a recent losing skid of defeats in 3 of his last 4 fights. McGregor is undoubtedly one of the biggest superstars in combat sports history, but his recent injury issues and delayed UFC return have brought his career to a screeching halt. Muhammad is also an understudy of Khabib Nurmagomedov, McGregor's most heated rival. McGregor and Khabib had one of the most hostile fight pairings at UFC 229, with Khabib earning a submission victory. UFC star Chandler has revealed that he's willing to die ahead of his big return at UFC 309 in New York City next month. One thing we know to be true about Chandler is that he's a warrior. Regardless of whether he wins or loses, he always goes out there with the intention of putting on a show. In just a few short weeks, after 2 years away from the cage, he will chase greatness once again in a huge rematch against Charles Oliveira. If he's able to pick up a decisive win, he could vault himself right back into contention for the title at lightweight. If he doesn't, many will begin to question what his future looks like. Whatever the case may be, this is set to be a fascinating outing for him. In a recent social media post, Chandler made it crystal clear just how motivated he feels heading into a fight of this magnitude. You've never met him. When that switch is flipped, he's got a job to do, and he's willing to die in that octagon. 16 days, UFC 309, walk on, see you at the top. Chandler waited a long time to fight Conor McGregor. Up to this point, he's still waiting for his opportunity. Hopefully, for his sake, he'll still be given the chance to match up with the Irishman even if he can't overcome Charles Oliveira, but nobody can know for sure. Thanks for tuning in to MMA Daily. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more daily MMA content. Until next time, keep fighting the good fight.